Good morning, everyone. Am I audible and the screen is visible or not? Just confirm in a chat box. Okay, fine. So in last lecture, what we have seen, just quickly we will revise in 1 or 2 minutes, right? We have started with the history of C language, right? That is, the C will derive from B, BCPL and Algol. Then we have seen what are the features of C language. Then we have seen structure of a C program, right? There are so many sections are there that you can see here: documentation, link section, definition section. There are so many sections are there, and there is a meaning of each section will be there. Fine. Then we have seen what are the comments: single line comment and multi-line comment. Examples also we have seen. Header files, there are so many functions will be provided by C language, right? So we have to include what? Header file using what? Has include, and then file name. So which are the files that we have seen? There are so many files are there. Just I have listed few of them here only, right? stdio.h, that means it will be used for printf and scanf, input output function. If any mathematical functions you need to use, then you need to go for math.h. String functions are there that we will also learn, that is string.h. So in that way, according to that, you need to what? Include all header files. Now the next is what? How to execute a C program. How to execute a C program. So first thing is what? We are going to write down a program. So enter the program. First step is, you can see that the file extension should be what? .c. Remember, the C file is having extension what? A .c. After that, edit the source program. That means you can edit at any time. Now we know that, right? Initially in first lecture or a second lecture, we have seen that the computer can understand the language in terms of only 0 and 1. So whatever our program is written in C language, that must be converted into what? A 0 and 1. So for that, the compiler will be used. For C, it will use what? A compiler. So compile the source program. After that, it will check for what? Any error is there or not. You can see here there is a decision box. So this is nothing but what? It's a flow chart of your program, that how the C will execute the program. So if any error is there, so you can see that this is the path. Yes. Then it will again goes to where? The edit the source program. If there will be no error, then there is a linker. Okay, can anyone tell me what is the use of linker? Compiler will convert your program, the C program, higher level program, into the lower level program. That means in terms of 0 and 1. If there is no error, error is also checking at that time. There are so many types of errors are there. We are not going for that much in detail, but if there will be an error, then it will again goes to edit the source program. Otherwise, it will be what? Goes to the linker. Can anyone tell me what is the use of linker? Anyone? What is the? It's combining the files. Yes, we have seen that it is what? A modularity concept, right? The C providing. So if there are more than one C files are there, then linker will link that file. Other thing is what? The header files, right? So what we are doing, we just use printf and scanf in our program, and we are including which header file? stdio.h. So when the program is supposed to be executed, whatever the file content, so what basically the header file will contain? What is the functionality of printf and scanf? For example, the definition of that, that means what the computer supposed to do when printf and scanf is there, that is specified in which file? stdio.h file. So linker will link that file simply to your program. So this is, you can see, link with the system library. That's why the main use of linker is what? It will link whatever the header files are specifying in our .c program, and it will generate which code? You can see .obj code, which if there is no error, then compiler will generate a one code that is called that extension of that is what .obj, okay, object file. After linker will link that file, whatever is required, then it will generate a which file .exe. You know very well .exe, that means what? Executable file. So executable file. Now your program is ready for the execution. So we have seen that whenever any problem is there, three main things you need to remember compulsory. One is the input, second is the output, and third one is the processing. So already we have done with the processing, right? We have checked any error or not and that. After that, what you are supposed to input the data. See here, input the data, execute the object code. Now again it will check, is there any error? So at this time, at the time of execution, which type of error can be there? See, if any syntax error is there, then it will be detected by compiler. For example, syntax error, that means what? C provide two function printf and scanf. So instead of printf, you have specified just print. So that error will be handled at which time? Compile time. But suppose there will be a logical error. That means suppose you require addition of two numbers, and by mistake, instead of plus sign, you have specify a minus sign. That means your output is wrong because of the logic, because you have specified the minus sign. So it will give you what? Subtraction of two numbers. Either data error, that means whatever the data I have entered, that is in a wrong way. So that type of error also we will see while using the program. So if any error is there, then again you can see yes, then you can go to where edit the source program. After editing source program, again you can't run your file directly. You have to compile it again because you have changed something in your program. So obviously the we can say the output, or we can say the 0 and 1 object file is changed, right? Now if it is the correct output, that you can go this and then stop. Fine. So this way the C program is supposed to be executed. First .c, then if it's compiled successfully .obj, and after linking .exe. So how to start the learning C language? So normally when we are starting learning, we'll start with alphabet, then we are making word, and then combining word, we are making sentence and then paragraph, right, in English. So same way, if you want to start with the C language, you should know what are the alphabets, digits, special symbols are provided by C. What are the constant, variable, and keyword? As we have seen, variables, right? That means what? We are identifying by our name. So obviously in C also, whatever the values you are going to take, that should be identified by some name. So that is called variable. After that, instruction. So instruction, as we have seen, the task which is supposed to be done by the computer, or command given to the computer. So while combining the set of instruction, it will make a what? Program. So we will start with the C in this way. What are the alphabet? What are the digits are supported by C? So we'll start with that one concept. You can see the character set. It is called what? Character set. So the letter caps and small both are provided by C. Digit 0 to 9 is provided by C. Some special character, that is what? Comma, semicolon, star, parenthesis, curly bracket. Very few examples I have written, pipeline, all are supported by C. Plus white spaces. So blank space, new line, tab, right? These are considered as a what? White spaces. Other characters are supported by C, and that is called trigraph characters. So the name itself tell you trigraph, that means three character will be combined. You can see that two question mark in each one. Two question mark will be followed by a equal to sign. Two question mark will be followed by a less than sign. So this is called what? Trigraph character. So this all will be supported by C. This is called a character set. That means using that, the language is supposed to be made up. Whatever syntax you are supposed to write, in that one you will find all this thing, right? So next is a C token. This all should can be asked in 1 marks, right? C tokens, that means what? Any individual word. That means what? Suppose I am writing that hello, this is our first C program. Suppose I have write one line. So each word of that line is called what? C token. Each word of that line is called what? A token. Right now you are not supposed to understand this. These are the example of token. Any keyword. Any keyword, that means what? Which will be supported by C. While, do, void, whatever the keyword, that is nothing but what? A C token. Fine. Any string is also called what? C token. Any special symbol, as we have seen, question mark, bracket, right? All are nothing but what? Token. Any operator, plus, minus, division, modulo, increment, decrement, all are what? Tokens. That means any individual word in a or unit in a C statement is called what? C token, and these are the example. The next one is the keywords. So when we are going to specify any language, some rules are supposed to be there. So keywords, that means what? It is having the specific meaning. Keywords, that means specific meaning. See, now from today onwards, we can say your actual C is start. Just remember that from the next lecture, initially for 2 to 3 minutes or maximum we can say up to 5 minutes, I will ask anything from today's lecture. Suppose tomorrow we are having a lecture, so I'll ask you anything. What is the meaning of keyword? What is the token? What are the example of keywords, right? So I will unmute anyone. I will unmute anyone and you are supposed to give the answer to me. Fine. So just concentrate on a lecture also. And as I told you, just sit with a pen and paper. So you can list down the topic which we have seen and you can refer from the book, right? You can go for the Balaguru Sami as we have discussed in the introductory session. So keyword, that means what? It is having a specific meaning. For example, print. So it will be used for what? To print something. Scan, it will scanning something, right? So same way here you can see those who know little bit about the C language, integer. So integer is a data type, right? Integer is a data type. Float is a data type. No need to remember this keywords. Total there are 32 keywords in C. Total there are 32 keywords in C and this is listed here. They cannot be used for any other purpose. We will see the example of that one. But this thing, this 32 keyword is having specific reserve word. So we can't go for any other use of this, right? So this is called what? Keyword. That you know, if, right? If, else. For looping, we are using for loop, then while, do while. So all are what? A keywords. Now identifiers. So identifier and variables are the same thing. Remember, identifiers and variables are what? Same thing. They are what? You can see here, identify are used to define the words and are used to give names to the entire entity like variable, array, function. Okay, that means what? We are identifying by our name. So as we have seen in the algorithm and flowchart, if you want to add two numbers, so two variable I have taken, that is number 1 and number 2. So this is called what? Identifier or a variable. Identifier or a variable. So some rules are there. This is important question. It can be asked in 2-3 marks also. Explain the concept of identifier in C. So you have to write down the definition, rules and example. Fine. So what should be the rules? That means these rules are for this naming. What should be the name of variable, right? So the first rule is it must consist only letters. So as we have seen whatever the letters are there, we have seen in the character set, digits, that means 0 to 9 or underscore. That means what? Your variable name should be what? Either small a to z or capital A to z, 0 to 9 digit or only underscore. Only these three are allowed in the name of a variable name or a identifier. First character, listen, this is very important one. First character must be what? An alphabet. Alphabet, that means what? Either from A to Z or capital or small, or underscore. That means what? Your name should be start with only that. Others are not allowed. That means your name cannot be start with the special symbol. Your variable name cannot be start with any digit. Only first 31 characters are significant. That means length of the variable can be anything. And again, it will be depend upon the machine. How many bit or how many size of your processor is there. But normally first 31 character C is counting. Cannot use any keyword. See, this is keyword. So as we have seen, 32 keywords are there. So any keyword cannot be allowed for a variable name. That means I can't take a variable name of integer. I can't take of variable name if, right? It will give the error at compiler time. Must not contain white spaces. That means the variable name cannot contain a space. That means my variable name cannot be, we'll see the example you can see here. First and then space and the, tag. So this is not allowed. Why? Because there white space cannot be there in variable name. First we will see the invalid one. Integer. Can anyone tell me int? Why? What is the reason for that one? Just write down into the chat box. Why int? What is int? Why it is not allowed in the variable name? Yes. Yeah, it's a keyword. Fine. Keyword. Okay. Then next is one and data. Why it is not allowed? You can see here 5 rules and you can specify or you can, yeah, you can give the reason. It is, yeah, it will start with the number. Yes, who have written start with the number, that is correct one, 174. The variable name cannot be start with any digit. Fine. Last one is RAC and then has. Can anyone give the reason for that? Why it is not allowed? Has is not allowed, right? Because it's a special character. Has is what? A special character, and that cannot be allowed in a variable name. Yes, good. And these are the valid variable names. So you can see that here. First, underscore tag. Sometimes it may be required, I want to use a white space kind of thing, but it is not allowed. So instead of that, you will replace it by what? The underscore. Some variable, and yes, variable name should be what? In a convenient form. That means what? Whatever the values you are going to take in variable, suppose I will be taking to store the age of the student. So what I'll take? Age underscore std, right? Variable name. It is not a rule, but that is the standard format. Same way, see int underscore type underscore data and rec. Fine. So this is what a identifier, or you can say the variable rules and example. Now constant. Constant, that means what? It is fixed value. We know the meaning of constant. It cannot be changed during the execution of program, and they are called what? Constant. So constant are what? A numeric constant or character constant, right? Numeric, that means what? Integer constant. So in that way, it can be in two way, either integer or real. So integer, these are the just example. This is what, here some point should be there, decimal point. So this is real constant, right? Decimal point. Clear? So whatever things are there, it is supposed to be constant one. And also we will see how to define a constant variable in this example. In character constant, there are two. Either it will be a string character or what? A single character. So string, that means what? A collection of character. That means if more than one characters are there, normally it is called what? String. String is always specified with double quotation. Character is always specified with what? Single quotation. Remember, string is specified with double quotation and character will be specified with single quotation. So these types are what? Of constant. That value remain fixed. They are not supposed to be changed during the program. Next is what? Data type. That means what? We have seen what are the character set will be provided by C. what is the variable identifier, right? But what should be the data type? Data type, that means what? Suppose I need to do the addition of two number. So that two number can be what? Either a normal integer, right? That means 5, 6, 10. It may be containing decimal point. That means what? 2.5, 7.5, like that. Clear? And the value of that variable may be a larger one, because whenever the value is there, it should be specified what should be the length, right? What should be the data maximum can be stored into that. So according to that, data types are there. As we have seen, string, that means character can also be there. So you can see that character is also there. So mainly, and this is important one, again, very important question. It can be asked in 4 marks, 6 marks, 7 marks. Explain the data types in C. So mainly the C having 3 classification. You can see primary data type, user defined data type, and derived data type. Okay, primary, user defined, and derived. These 3 derived data type we will see in the next chapters. That means there are chapters are there. One chapter is for array, and one for the structure and union, one separate chapter for the pointer, right? So that we will see in each chapter. But right now in this unit 2, this is what we have started, unit 2. So in that one we will discuss the primary data type and user defined data type. Okay, any doubt up to this? Any doubt? Anyone? Any doubt? I am asking you people. Okay, fine. Now, so you can see that in primary data type, mainly 4 are there. First one is a character. Second is a float. Then third is a integer int, and fourth is a void. Void, int, float, and character. So now what is the integer? Again, in integer, you can see there are so many types are there. So that is for what? What is the, we can say the maximum value we can store, right? For an integer. So according to that size, that can be what? Integer, long integer. So the name itself tells you long. Long, that means what? What is the length of integer, right? So as compared to the integer, long integer is having wide range. That we will see in the next slide. Then there is 2 concepts, signed and unsigned. Okay, in each one there is 2 concepts. You can see here signed and unsigned. So signed, that means what? It can contain what? Negative values also, and unsigned, that means what? Positive value only. Okay, we know that if the first digit is 0, that means it is which value? Positive. And first digit is 1, that means it is a negative. So positive, that means what? Unsigned. All values are positive, and signed means what? It can be a -1. So in character, signed character, unsigned character. Float, in that one, float, double, and long double. These are because of size. And in integer also, integer, long integer, short integer, these are the type. Okay, that we will see now only. The next one is what? User defined. So that we will see maybe in a next lecture. So we will start with the primary data type. You can see that table. This is type. The second column is size. So whenever anything is there, the first question is how much size is required to store into memory. Listen, how much size is required to store into memory? Because we have seen in the block diagram of the computer, your program is supposed to be stored in where? The memory. Whatever the data are required for your program, that means input, that is also be stored into the memory. Fine. And what is the range? That means, as I have told you, suppose there will be a character. Character data type, that means what? A single quotation. We will specify, suppose a H. So this is nothing but what? A character. Now you can see that character or sign character, it will take how many bytes? 1 byte to store into memory. 1 byte, that means 8 bit. And again, this is machine dependent. This is standard value I have given, right? Which is given in the ANSYS book, but it will be vary processor to processor. Now see, signed, that means what? Minus value can be there. So you can see that minus 128 to 127, minus 128 to 127. If you are specifying the value within this range, then you have to take that variable of which type, either a character or sign character. Clear? Unsigned character, that means what? You can see total is 255 only. This is also total what? 255. But range is differ, minus 128 to 127. And if there is unsigned, it will take only 1 byte. But you can see the range will be changed. It is what? From 0 to 255. It is 0 to 255. Same way, you can see integer. So integer, either it will be a short integer or integer, it will take 2 byte into memory. And you can see the range of integer is this one, minus 32768 to 32767. Suppose if you want to take a value of variable more than this, that means 32768, then this variable type or data type cannot be used. You need to go for the another one which will specify a more byte. Okay. So you can see that long integer, will take what? 4 byte. Long integer will take what? 4 byte. And only integer will take 2 byte. And character will take 1 byte. Now float can take 4 byte. Float will be data type for what? A decimal value. You can see the range 1.2 e minus 38 to 3.4 e plus 38. That means exponential. If you want to take more values which is in a float, then you have to go for double. It will take 8 bytes. Then long double, it will take a 10 bytes. So these are the primary data type. You can see the range of all this one, right? The next one will be what? A declaration of variable. That means what? We have already seen what are the identifier, what are the variables, what are the rules for that. And also we have seen the primary data type. Primary data type, it can be a integer, float, double, void. Now void we will see at the time of function. Void is data type. That means what? It will specify there is no data type. Okay. So that we will see in a detail in the chapter of function. Now declaration of variable. That means what? Before using anything, before you are going to use anything, you need to tell the computer that what? I am supposed to use this thing in my program. So this is called nothing but what? Declaration of variable. So see, it must be declare a variable before it is used in a program. That means as we have seen in the algorithm, we have write what? Input number 1 and number 2. But when you are going to for the implementing in terms of programming, right? C program. So what? You can't directly use number 1 and number 2, but you have to declare first. So this is called declaration of variable. So whenever declaration of variable is there, two terms will be used. Data type. You can see syntax. The first one is what? Data type. That means which data type? As we have seen, it can be either of this anyone. Okay, integer, character, long integer, signed integer, unsigned integer, anything. After that, variable name. So variable name that we have seen where this is identifier. Variable name can be specified by user, and you have to take care about this rule. Okay. So here I have given also example. See, data type, variable name. So see, integer count. That means what? I have taken a one variable of which name count. Count is a name, and you can see data type is what? Integer. After that, one another, this is called declaration of variable. Double is a data type, and ratio, that means what? A name of the variable. So what happened at the time of declaration of variable? So integer count, that means integer will take how many bytes? 2 bytes. Integer will take 2 bytes. As we have seen here, you can see that integer, this, it will take how many bytes? 2 bytes. What should be the range of value for that? This. Fine. So default it will be what? Signed. Clear? Now double. So double take how many bytes? You can see that 8 bytes. So double will take 8 bytes. Clear? So this is the meaning. How many bytes it will be allocated into the memory. So you can see that the type and range of the value, data type and range of the value that a variable can store, it depends upon what? Data type. So this is what? Declaration of variable. Now user defined data type. So these are the primary data type, how to declare a variable, and next is what? User defined data type. So there are two data types are there in user defined. You can see that enum and typedef. So first we'll see what? Typedef. Now typedef, that means what? It is used to just rename, listen carefully, it is just use a rename for the existing data type. That means what? Suppose first we will see the example and then we'll move to the syntax. Suppose I want to store the, we can say, marks of the student. Suppose I want to store the marks of the student. So normally marks can be what? Either an integer or a float. But if I will declare like this, float marks, then instead of that, I want to declare it like a what? Marks as a data type. I want to take a data type as a what? Marks. And after that, subject 1 and subject 2. So marks cannot be a data type. Only the primary data types are what? Integer, float, that we have seen. So if you want to rename the primary data type or the existing data type of C, then you need to use what? Typedef. So you can see that typedef, float and marks. So what is the meaning of this? The float now can be defined as a what? Marks. Instead of float, you can write what? Marks. So this is just used for renaming. Same way here you can see typedef, integer units. So now instead of integer, within your program only, this can be done within your program only. You can define it what? Units. So you can see that here units and batch 1, batch 2. That means with that batch 1 and batch 2 is type of unit. But indirectly unit is of which type? Integer only. Right? So this is the thing that is with the typedef. Next is what? Enum. Next data type enum, or you can say enumeration. This is important. Explain user defined data type with example, or explain enum and typedef. So enumeration is used for what? If you want to take a value of variable within some specified range. For example, day. So day can be of anything from what? Monday to Sunday. Other value cannot be possible. So for a specific range of value, the enum will be used. You can see that the syntax enum identifier. Identify, that means what? Variable name. Anything you can take. After that, in a curly bracket, you can specify the value 1, value 2, value 3 up to value n. So this is the specific value. Now example, you can see enum. Same example that I have told you, day. So day, for that the value should be what? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like that. Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Only those values are possible. Other than that are, it is possible, but there is no meaning to give the other name than this. After that, this is called what? Enum declaration. After that, you can use that day, this day, to declare a variable. So what I have done, enum day, and then I have declared two variables, start and end. Again, one, in a first line, I have declared what? Day and the values, possible value of that. After that, what I have done, again enum, day, and then start and end. So what is the meaning of this? In variable start and end, in variable start and end, only possible values are which one? From Monday to Sunday. Clear? From Monday to Sunday, only these values are possible. Any doubt? So type dep, just rename the existing data type, and enum will use when you are having the specific list of value, and from that only the value of variable is possible. Okay, any doubt up to this? Anyone? Any doubt? What is variable? What is data type? Primary data type and user defined data type. Only this we have seen, right? What are keywords? What is C token? Okay, now yes, okay, fine. Now how to assign a value to variable? That means what? Variable we have taken integer count, but the next step is what? I need to assign some value into this. So there are specifically three ways are there. Okay, three ways to give a value to variable. Assignment statement, as you are using in a mathematics. See, simple, this is count equal to 4, balance equal to this, and years equal to this. This is single quotation, so it is character. This is single quotation, character. It should be integer. This data type should be float. Fine. Next is what? Initialization. Initialization, that means what? To give the value to variable at the time of declaration. This is compulsory use. That means what? How to declare a variable? Data type and variable name, integer count. With that only I have used assignment statement and assign a value equal to 4. So this is called what? Initialization. Okay. Assignment and initialization. Third one is what? Reading from the keyboard, that means scanf. C will be having one inbuilt function, that is nothing but what? Scanf. So what is the syntax of scanf? In next lecture, we will start with the programming. First, I will give you the simple example of scanf and printf, how to declare variable, and then we will move to the another topic of this unit 2. Fine. So control string, double quotation. After that comma, variable 1, variable 2, and you can see that it will be preceded with the ampersand sign. Fine. This is syntax. Now, what is the example? Scanf %d. So you can see that control string I have applied what? %d. And after that ampersand and variable name. So what is the meaning of this control string? It is predefined in say, if your variable is integer, %d will be used. If it is float, so %f will be used. If it is character, so %c is used. This is called control string. And this is variable name as you have declared. Suppose I have declared this variable as a what? Integer. So you can see that %d and ampersand number. This ampersand, that means it will specify the address at which memory location it is supposed to be stored. Clear? We will see with the example in next lecture how to scanf, printf and all things, right? So there are three ways to assign value to variable: assignment, initialization and scanf. So this thing is for the today's session, right? Main thing is data type, variable, assign value to variable. So just start the reading with the lecture only. If you are not having book, then whatever the recorded video will be posted on YouTube, just refer it once daily, right? Then otherwise it will be very difficult to So we have seen how to assign the value to variable. The next one is Symbolic constant. The next one is a symbolic constant. Ask your friends to join fast. Okay, now it's audible, na? Okay, fine. So the next one is what? A symbolic constant. So in that one, suppose, for example, some kind of variables are there. Their value is supposed to remain a constant one, or not a throughout program we can say, but for example, pi. For example, a pi, that means what? You are using that pi, that is value is normally we are taking what? 3.14, right? This pi, we are taking value of that is what? 3.14. So symbolic constant is a name given to some numeric constant. You can see that some numeric constant or a character constant or a string constant or any other constant. That means that value for that is remain constant. So that is called what? A has symbolic constant. Now the next thing is what? A preprocessor directive. That means what? How to define the symbolic constant. So that is using which word? Has defined. That means it should be start with what? Has defined. Now preprocessor directive has defined is used to define a symbolic constant. So you can see that the syntax is this one. Has defined. After that symbolic constant name. So symbolic constant name, that means what? As I have told you, pi. I want to take a pi as a symbolic constant. So what I'll do? I'll define here what? Pi. After that value of constant, that means it should be what? Suppose 3.14. So I'll write the value. So in program, I can use that symbolic constant and I cannot change that value within the program. Fine. So this is the way to define a symbolic constant. Normally, symbolic constant will be defined before the main. Okay, it will be defined before the main. So this is just a syntax. Example of this, you can see that this is has defined pi 3.141592. This is the value. And one point you should notate there, we have seen that normally every executable statement of C is end with the semicolon. But here there is no semicolon. You can see has defined statement is not included a semicolon. This is fixed. Fine. Now has defined, another is name of that variable and then value 1.6. After define has defined max and 500. So these are the three examples. It must be start with has defined, then symbolic constant name. You can see that I have given only capital name. So this is not a rule, but this is the some standard format that you should what? Start with or write a symbolic constant name as a what? Caps. Fine. So this is the way. Now the next thing is what? Some rules are there. Some rules are there. You can see symbolic name have the same form as variable name. That means what? Suppose I will be using symbolic constant for pi. So compulsory I have to take the name. It's not a compulsory, but this is the advice that pi you have to take. No blank space between the has sign and the define. You can't see has and define should be a continuous. There is no space. Has must be the first character in the line. That means it is not like that you are just giving one space and then start with the has. Again, error will be there. A blank space is required between has defined and symbolic name and constant. You can see in an example here, there should be a one space here. Here also one space, right? So this is the rule. Has defined must not end with the semicolon. You can see that it should not be, it must not be end with a semicolon, right? Compulsory. If you are going to end with semicolon, it will give you the error. After definition, the symbolic name should not assign any value in a program. That means just once you have defined symbolic constant, then what? You cannot assign any value. We have seen assignment three way: initialization, assignment, and scanf. You can't change the value of symbolic constant. Symbolic constant, we are not specifying data type. Whatever the values we are assigning into it, it will automatically take data type. That means if I have defined a pi 3.14, so it will take the what? A float data type for that. Fine. Here also it will max, it will take integer data type. Compiler itself it will do. Hash defined statement may appear anywhere. I told you it can be anywhere before the use, but normally we are defining it in the starting of the program. Normally we are defining in the starting of the program. So these are the rule of symbolic constant, how to define it. Now, what is the main reason to taking a symbolic constant? Suppose pi will be used at 10 places, for example, 9 to 10 places in my C program. So what happened? After executing one, suppose it will be, I found that instead of 3.14159, I need to take that value as a what? 3.1416. Okay, got it? I need to change the value. So what I need to do? I need to change it at the 9 or 10 places. So it will be very difficult. Suppose 100 line of program is there and 9 and 10 places of pi will you are supposed to found and you will change. So will take a more time. Instead of that, if I have taken it as a symbolic constant, so what I'll do? Just I will do here only. I'll specify like this, and again I'll compile my program and again I'll run my program. So this will be easy for us. Fine. This will be easy for us to define a symbolic constant. So this is the main reason of taking a symbolic constant. Fine. Okay, any doubt into this? So this is the thing for symbolic constant. The next thing is what? A operator. The next topic is what? Operator. So just we will start with it. When operator, that means what? Can anyone tell me what is the use of operator? Operators are what? Suppose, okay. Yeah, if you want to do the sum, addition, then you need to use operator. Suppose you need to check a condition, as we have seen, to find out the maximum from 2. So what we have used? If statement, right? We have write what? If n1 is less than n2. So this is nothing but what? Operator. Less than is nothing but what? Operator. So there are so many operators. Yes. So there are so many operators will be provided by C. You can see that arithmetic operator, relational, logically, assignment, increment, decrement. This we are going to see now. That means in a next lecture. Other operators are also there. You can see the bitwise operator, conditional operator, and special. So total there are 8 operator will be provided by C. Total there are 8 operator will be provided by C language, right? So bitwise, I have told you that C is a middle level language. So the name itself tell you bitwise. That means what? It will perform operation of bit level. That's why the C is what? Middle level. You can see arithmetic. So plus, minus, division. Relational, that means to check the condition we are using less than, greater than, they are called relational. Logical, that means or and. Assignment, just we have seen, this is assignment, right? So these are the total 8 operators will be provided by a C. We will start with arithmetic operator. So simple arithmetic, plus, minus, multiplication, division, and modulo. I told you modulo will be used to for what? Anyone? Modulo will give you what? Modulo will give you what? Just write down into the chat box. It will give you the reminder. Yes. And one thing just I have remembered, I have given you one example for the flow chart and algorithm. total paisa I will be having, suppose 525. I need to convert it into rupees and paisa, right? Rupees and paisa. Then you need to write down a algorithm and draw the flowchart for that one, and you should mail me either, or you can telegram me. So nobody have done from your class, right? Simple example I told you in a very initially, you have to make a practice with the lectures. Then and then you can see at last, if you are going to take a C book and if you start learning, you can't do anything, right? So do it with the lectures only. So you can see that what the we can't, ma'am, that means what? You don't know, or okay, you tried, then you need to ask. See, whatever, if also you will feel that I have drawn a wrong flow chart or algorithm, right? So just you should ask me. You just write a one sentence in a mail that, ma'am, please check it and suggest what are the corrections are required, or is it correct or not. Then I'll, okay, just take a screenshot. How to telegram, that means what? Write down in a paper, take a screenshot of that one, and just whatever the image is, that you just send it to me. That's it. Just you need to do in that way, right? Fine. So now onwards, if I'll give you anything, before next lecture I should get the responses. Fine. So this is the operators. Now you can see it may be a unary and binary. So can anyone tell me what is the meaning of unary and binary? We will continue lecture for 2-3 minutes and then we will add, right? We will see arithmetic operator. Yes, anyone? Unary and binary, can give me a difference between that two. Tomorrow I will start from the next operator only, right? Unary and binary. See, if I'll write 5 plus 6, if I'll write 5 plus 6, so this is called what? Operator. But which type of operator? Binary. Why? Because it will contain two operand. This is called what? Operand. Listen, this is called expression. 5 plus 6 is called what? Expression. In expression, it is what? Plus is a operator. 5 and 6 are called what? Operand. Okay. So if there are two operand, it is called a binary operator. Now plus is having two meaning. Here it will do what? Addition. But suppose I will write this plus 5. So what is the meaning of this? This will shows you the sign. That means 5 is a positive value. Same way minus. So suppose I will do what? Minus 5. It will specify what? A negative, minus 5. And suppose I will do 5 minus 6. That means at that time it is binary. So binary and unary, this is the operator you should specify. Okay. Multiplication, that means star or a asterisk. Division, that means slash. And remainder, that means percentage sign. Okay. Now you have to remember one thing. This is only used with the integer data type. Now you know the data type. Remainder operator always used with what? Or it is called a modulo operator. Another name of this operator is modulo operator. It is always which data type? Integer. Then and then it will do. Otherwise it will give you the error. Fine. Now whenever the operators are there, arithmetic operator can be classified in three ways: integer arithmetic, real arithmetic, and mixed mode arithmetic. So what is the meaning? Integer, that means what? Both are integer. That means 5 and 6. Real arithmetic, that means here some decimal point is there, 5.6 and 11.2, like this. And mixed mode arithmetic, that means what? One is 5 and another is 11.2. So this is called what? A mixed mode arithmetic. And we will see how to execute it. This is both are integer, both are real or a float, and mixed, that means any data type is supposed to be there, right? So this is the classification of arithmetic operator. So we have seen what? Arithmetic operator, plus, minus, star, division, multiplication. Modulo can only be used with the integer data type. Then it can be classified in three ways: integer, real, and mixed. Okay. And the next is relational operator, that we will see in a next lecture. Relational operator, right? Okay, now you can leave.